State forest hunting. Some would even say, why would you bother? From forestry operations, including pine planting and removal, logging trucks to watch out for, and herbicide spraying activities, there is definitely a lot to contend with. Couple that with the regulatory compliance of hunting on Crown land, there is a lot of obstacles in our path to hunting glory. But none of those should deter you from scouting around and doing the hard yards to create your own success. Success can come in many forms, but ultimately you alone are responsible for the success you receive based on the amount of work you're willing to put in. Once again, I'm joined by some of my greatest friends in the pursuit of meat for the table. We set up camp in the warm, late March weather and discussed the plans for the coming 4 days. The views from the campsite definitely made it easy living. Our plans on this trip were to scout some areas and also sit and wait in some of the spots we had success at in the past. Stalking and sitting in waiting are two very different deer hunting methods, and both can be successful in the pursuit of state forest deer.
All right, guys, welcome back to AHP Outdoors. Again, we're here in a beautiful state forest deer hunting. It's the first deer hunt of the year, and hopefully we're going to get something on this trip. Whether it's me or one of my friends, I don't really care. We're just out here having a good time. And you know what? State forest hunting is, for me, not just about the hunting. It's about the friendships, the camaraderie, and the people I've met, not only through the podcast, but through state forest hunting. It has been an absolutely wonderful, wonderful thing. So join us on this fun, adventurous trip, deer hunting in state forest in New South Wales. Hopefully it is going to be a good one. I tell you what, guys, putting up bloody gazebos in these windy conditions, it's not fun at all.
With camp set up, it was time to air down the tyres and get ready for the afternoon hunt. I decided to tag along with the camera on one of my friend's hunt and sit and wait in a spot we had success at previously. Armed with the 7mm Magnum and 150 grain ballistic tips, it was a game of patience. With the birds chirping in the autumn breeze, the wildlife was certainly alive throughout the forest. Some might ask why I don't go out on my own and not tag along on a friend's hunt, and that's a great question. Firstly, it's hard to film your own hunt and get it all on camera when you get the opportunity. Secondly, we are good friends, and for me, hunting is awesome, but it's nothing without the joy of sharing the experience with friends sitting in a state forest surrounded by blackberry bushes. The friendship aspect is a very important part for me, just as it is for the friends I hunt with. It was about 5 p.m. and the hunt was in full swing. It was now a game of hoping the wind was right and we're in the right place at the right time.
All right, guys, we're here now, overlooking this area. We're looking down into this ravine because that's where we've seen him before, coming out of game trails all along here, coming down that hill, crossing into this state forest area. I said we've shot here deer before, but I don't know, should we shoot one on day one? Hey, should we shoot one on day one? What do you reckon? Yeah. Listen, we say we don't really want to shoot one on day one because our eskies are full and we don't want to fill them up with deer right now. But when it gets to day 3 or 4 and you haven't shot anything yet, you go, damn, I wish I shot one on day one. It just makes the trip so much easier. But anyway, we're going to hunker down here for the next couple of hours. Hopefully, fingers crossed, something comes past. Anyway, let's see how we go.
With a late afternoon start on our first day's hunting, the light was fading quickly and the deer were nowhere to be seen. I felt the wind was not in the best position and could have already spooked unknown deer we hadn't seen yet, but no doubt they already had a good whiff of our presence. The legal shooting light had all but faded, so we unloaded, packed up and headed back to camp to enjoy ourselves around the fire and to grab some dinner.
All right, so we just got back. I'm going to make an easy wrap tonight because the first night I don't want to go too crazy. So just to give you a rundown, my mates are laughing at me now. What are you eating, you bastard? He's laughing at me, but anyway, all good. He's just having a slice of bread and some sausages. All right, so we're having a wrap. We've got some lettuce or a mixed bag of salad. We've got mushrooms. We've got some mayo, some chili sauce, some barbecue chicken slices, tomato, cucumber. Of course, he asked me if I eat this anymore. Guys, this is the best stuff. Laugan Ma, crispy chili oil. Absolutely, a bit high in calories, but anyway, it tastes absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna get this on a wrap, an easy meal, and then sit in front of that beautiful fire over there. Can't get better.
Dinner was delicious, and we finished the night sitting around the fire, having a few laughs, wondering what the next few days would bring. Which one of us would have success? Nobody knew, but we were sure as hell going to give it a good crack. With a new day upon us, I was up early, ready to head to my spot and sit and wait for a few hours. The plan later on in the day would be to scout a few new areas. Walking down into my spot, I saw 2 deer crossing the fence into the state forest. Damn it, if only I'd have been 5 minutes earlier instead of wasting time filming. I had been on my stand for around 2 hours and was honestly getting a little bit fidgety. And all of a sudden, a chocolate fallow doe crossed over into the state forest and stared straight at me. I didn't want to make any sudden movements, and I had no time to hit record on the camera. I sent a 140 grain bullet from my 7mm Magnum quartering on the chest, coming out the opposite side to an instant bang flop, and dropped her on the spot. It's amazing how quick things can change, and it happened almost instantly.
Oh, guys, I'm absolutely stuffed. So I got down here this morning onto my stand. I was about probably 10-15 minutes too late, and I saw the deer crossing through the game trail. So I was a bit disappointed. Anyway, my friends came down about a couple of hours later. They're going to a different spot. We had a bit of a chat. Just about a minute before they came, a deer spooked, I think from my wind, about probably 15 meters behind me. I turned up and looked around. I couldn't see anything, and it couldn't go anywhere because there was nowhere to go. And then all of a sudden, my friends came around the corner. It spooked from behind the blackberry. Anyway, this is not the same one. Another 30 minutes goes by. 2 deer behind me, came up a little bit, crossed over through a game trail, and I got a perfect side shot on this doe. So, man, I am stoked, man. There was 2 of them. At least I got one of them. It's Sunday, so time's running out definitely, but let me show you a bit of footage. We're gonna package her up. We're gonna get her on the back of the car, get her back to camp, and I guess start the process, because I had to pull her down the hill here to the car. Whew. I tell you what, what's it now? Early April hunting, late March. It's still pretty damn hot. Anyway, let's get back to camp. Who said this was easy, man? It's not even that big. And I've ripped the arse out of my pants too. Come on. Got it, got it, got it! Got it. That's it. Woo! Man.
I was on my way back to camp when my mate Arthur, who didn't plan on coming on the trip, surprised us by attending the hunt at the last minute. He had only arrived an hour earlier and had already shot a deer. He was struggling to find it in the long grass and weeds and got on the UHF and asked for assistance to help him find it.
So what happened, Mr. I'm not going to turn up for a trip?
Oh well, decided to turn up. Nothing. Bumped a deer across the road here into the green section over here, and yeah, stopped. By the time I got out, got the gun out, he'd gone at least 200 meters, but it was on a weird angle, and we're trying to find him now, and we can't find him. But he definitely dropped because his head was bloody shaking, so he's definitely down in there somewhere. But it's a prick to walk through, that's for sure.
I'm just hoping it didn't get up or something, but anyway, we'll see if we can just scan along, get the drone out.
Get the drone up.
I've only got one battery left. Let's see if it's enough, guys, to get it, try and locate it, but we'll see.
The search was hard going in the long woody weeds and debris. We were in full search mode when the DPI compliance crew turned up to do a compliance check on our hunting activities. They even tried to help us locate the deer. With all the compliance checks out the way, we drove back to camp to get started on my deer prep for the afternoon. Driving back, you get wonderful scenes of beautiful rolling landscapes. Life is definitely good, and I certainly can't complain.
All right, so I just got back. Remember my mate Arthur? Well, I just did it on the ground because it's so hot, and then Arthur goes, why don't you put it on the, what do you call it, the gambrel? And I was like, oh no, I'm all right. And then I persisted, and then I said, stuff it, I'm gonna just do the back straps up on the gambrel. So, but man, it is stinking hot this time of year.
It is quite warm.
Easter is earlier this year, so what do? Not much can do, but it's good work with what you got. So we just tuck the head in, and I'm gonna do the back straps now. It's all I'm taking on this one. We've got enough meat, so we've all got enough to take home for sausages, steaks, whatever we want. And then what are we gonna have, eh? What's breakfast?
Bushman's breakfast with some tenderloins, deer tenderloin.
Yeah, we're gonna cook up some deer tenderloins. Maybe some what? Some eggs, what do you reckon?
Eggs, potato, onion.
Potato, onions, bacon. Ooh, delicious. Anyway, let's get stuck into these back straps. All right, guys, we just got back, took the back legs off that deer. Then Arthur decided we should probably hang it to get the back straps out and the tenderloin. So it's pretty warm. Me and Arthur are sitting here. I don't know, man, it's got to be 27, 28 degrees, but it feels so much hotter when you're actually at a higher elevation. I think we're at about, 1150, I think. So we're just relaxing under the gazebo, but it is time for breakfast. So Arthur got the tenderloins out for me while I was filming it. So we've got the tenderloins, we've got some potato, we've got some mushrooms, we've got some cheese, we've got some eggs. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And of course, guys, the most important ingredient is the Kewpie mayo. I am on a diet now, so I have to get the 50% Kewpie mayo. Arthur always laughs at me now because he likes the full fat Kewpie mayo, but
full strength.
Sorry, the full strength. So we're gonna, what was it? Arthur calls it the Bushman's breakfast, right? So it's basically all those ingredients into a big like hash, but he did used to call it bubble and squeak, wasn't that right? I don't know what that means. means, but he changed it to make it a bit more manly when he goes hunting into Bushman's breakfast. So we're going to cut this stuff up. Not sure if I'm going to have it in a wrap or I'm just going to have it in the bowl as a big hash or something, but I'll find out at the end what I decide to do. But it looks delicious, so we're going to cut it up, take the silver skin off, and breakfast, because I've not had any breakfast. What time is it now? It's about 12:30.
20 past.
20 past 12, and I haven't had anything for the day, so I could eat the arse end out of a rhino right now. So anyway, let's get into it.
Alright guys, that's a bushman's breakfast. You can use leftovers or you can use tenderloin or even backstrap or anything you want. Top it off with a little bit of cheese, some koopy. We've got mushrooms in there, we've got some potatoes, the tenderloin and some tomato, onions. That's it. Time to eat.
Oh,
Wrap it up.
wrap it up. Let's see how good it is on a wrap, guys. Oh.
I've already taken a bite, it's pretty good.
All right, guys, second last day of the hunt. Bushman's breakfast, me and Arthur. That soft drink goes down well after a long, hot day hunting, that's for sure. Oh.
Pretty good.
With a tasty catch and cook lunch under our belts and full bellies, we sat around camp to relax for a few hours. I was going to stay at camp for the rest of the day, but instead I decided I would take my camera and head back to a different vantage point and sit and wait. I was hoping I was going to be in the right place at the right time. I sat along a fence line of fruiting blackberries and enjoyed the beautiful fruit straight from the bush itself, and it was absolutely delicious. Sometimes I sit and enjoy the scenery and lose concentration about the task at hand. I love the bush and all it has to offer us. The trees, the mountains, the birds, and the sensory smells. It just rounds out a wonderful experience connecting with the outdoors. With the sun about 30 minutes from setting behind the mountains, I was running out of time. I was looking around and something caught my eye exiting from the game trail and was working its way up the embankment behind some pine shrubs towards the fence. Since the camera was already set up, I hit record and laid my eyes behind the scope, and the rifle was on the shooting sticks waiting for me to take action.
Oh, I think I got her, man. She was bleeding hard, very hard. Right in the side was a perfect shot. Anyway, holy shit, let's go have a look. Oh, It's not far off dark. I hit her good, real good. But if she got into the bush here, come on. You can see how thick it is here, guys. It's all blackberries. Come on, come on, come on. Tell me it's this way. Yep. You ripper. You ripper. She's only a small one. Oh. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. Anyway, guys, it's only a small little eater. Sorry for the bad footage. I'm on the GoPro. Big camera's on my chest. I knew that was a good shot. Oh, and I was hoping, I know there's a game trail here, and I was hoping she wasn't going to go down that one. And she's just right here. Oh, yeah. I know it's only a small one, and we've got another deer for this trip as well. Another one to add to the tally. So what a way to finish off a trip, man. Good. I know it's not a buck, but I don't care, guys. I'm here for meat. I love making sausages and small goods, living off what we kill and making it worthwhile. Fantastic. What a shot. And I got it on camera. Hell yeah. Let's get it out.
I loaded up the deer onto the back of the car, and the sunset was just too good not to get some footage of. From rich, beautiful oranges to purple hues as the sun dipped below the mountains was a wonderful sight to behold. I drove back to camp ready to put in some hard work breaking down the deer. On the way back, I wanted to share with you some tactics farmers who bought a state forest get up to when they don't like people hunting on public land adjoining their property. Alright, so I'm just heading back. I just loaded up the deer. I just come on the track, about to turn off to go back to camp on the state forest side, and this is the sort of tactics I wanted to show you. Obviously we do the right thing, we always do the right thing. I'm just going to get out and show you what these farmers do on the opposite side when they don't like people hunting in state forests. So I'm just going to get out and I'll show you. Alright guys, this is what happens when you're hunting state forests and there's owners bordering this land. This is what happened. You can see the lights from my truck on because I'm just heading out after shooting a deer. And they just keep flashing you. I guess this is to try and, you know, deter you. Not that I go on anyone's property, of course, but this is just some of the tactics to try and bully you, I guess. I continued back to camp in preparation to process the deer. Arthur helped me get the deer up off the ground. And even though it was a small meat deer, they certainly can be awkward to get off the ground and onto the gambrel. Arthur put on a good spread of pasta and chicken, and we all sat around eating way too much and having a good laugh. Because that's what hunting with your friends is all about.
Alright guys, we just got back into camp, cooking up some quick dinner, bit of pasta, fettuccine, with some shredded chicken, mushroom, courtesy of my friend Rob, you know who you are. Jason just got back into camp, he just actually hit another doe, I think it was. That's the second one for him today, and I think it's number 4 for the trip for the whole group, which is a pretty good result. But we're all starving, so I think we're going to chow down on this and yeah, call it a night. Sit by the fire. Good times.
Let's just chuck a bit of that sweet chili sauce after it's finished frying off. Heat it up with a bit of sauce. What are you watching? He's watching Warcraft. Is it Warcraft?
No, they're doing an auction for a dude that died.
With the deer processed and a yummy dinner consumed, we sat by the fire to enjoy our final night at hunting camp. A brisk, beautiful morning sunrise was upon us, and some of the boys were out hunting the early morning light. I stayed at camp to reflect on the weekend's results. Some cows had moved in close to our camp. Not sure what they were doing or why they were on state forest land. Maybe they escaped. I don't know. Who knows? So I'm just sitting here. It's the final morning of the hunt in this very bright, beautiful sun. Just wanted to reflect on this hunting trip. Fantastic is all I can say. First off, I shot 2 deer. Secondly, I got to spend time with my mates, some I haven't seen since, August of last year of 2023. It's just a fantastic experience, this state forest hunting, it really is. Some of my best memories are state forest hunting. Some people wanted to give me the opportunity when it took like 4 years to get my first deer, but you know what, I wanted to do it myself. I really wanted to put in the hard yards, and the hard yards I did, and once I got the monkey off my back, success was mine. State forest hunting, if you're ever thinking about getting into it, is absolutely fantastic. Yep, you are going to do it a little bit tough sometimes, but when you do taste that success, there's just nothing like it, guys, really. On this trip, I haven't seen some of my friends since August of last year, 2023. Hunting a bet for me is about 50% hanging out with my mates and camaraderie and friendship, and the other 50% is hunting. And some people ask me, do you like to get big bucks? And I've got one of the biggest bucks I ever got probably about 4.5 years ago. And I don't think I'm going to beat that one anytime soon, especially for state forest hunting, but I'm predominantly a meat hunter. Yeah, of course, I'll take a trophy like anybody, but it's just the experience of getting out of here, making small, good treats when we have our barbecues. Throughout the year, we have a bunch of barbecues, 5 or 6, but we go to each other places. We bring the deer sausages and we just enjoy a good barbecue of all the things we've hunted throughout the year. And I really couldn't ask for any better, guys. So the other boys are out hunting right now, so hopefully they come back with something, but it's been a good trip. Shout out to Luke as well. He was hunting in this forest and saw my Instagram as well, and he shot an animal and didn't want it. So he said he had way too much meat, so I think I got 2 animals, my mate got an animal, we got given one. That's 4 deer for state forest hunting in the space of a 4-day weekend. Yep, not monsters, but good, honest meat animals. And that's what it's all about. So we're going to finish up today. I'm going to go grab some breakfast. I'm just sitting here enjoying this wonderful view. And I just want to reflect on, what state forest hunting is. Yeah, it can be hard, but, damn, man, it is rewarding. I tell you, it is rewarding. Fantastic, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And, of course, we'll see you on the next one. Breakfast was on the menu, and then we started to pack up to leave. The local police officer turned up and had a yarn about our hunting adventures. We had already been checked a few days earlier, so the officer spent his time discussing his pending retirement in 8 days' time, and how he was going to be hunting and fishing a lot more during his retirement. It was time to hit the road until our next adventure. I hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride, and all the best to you in your hunting and shooting adventures. I'll see you on the next one.